Hey Devin, what are you seeing that people are really challenged with in this current time?
I think the biggest thing right now is one, if they're able to afford therapy, just because of some of the changes that are going on with the insurances through the Affordable Care Act. I've been having a lot of that. Another one too is grief, especially with the holidays coming up. Like lots of like some of that typical holiday grief, but also two people struggling with the complicated grief that it's kind of almost eliciting some trauma responses right now. So those are really the two biggest things. What about you?
Great question. Glad you asked.
You're welcome.
I think right now, really what I'm seeing a lot of in my therapy space are people showing up with, I think, an increase in trauma symptoms. I think especially like during the holidays and also as we're in winter right now, really being met with their old pattern that they grew up in and some of the programming that was implemented onto them. And so going back to some of those old spaces, we can really see a lot of regression in maybe themselves and how they sense themselves being in that space. And so really being able to work around staying embodied in some of those spaces. And I think also just showing up for themselves in ways that they were, I think people didn't show up for them, especially the people that they're going back and seeing. And so really, I think having a negotiation of the past and the present and really being able to, I think, blend those two spaces together.
And that makes a lot of sense too, because I think a lot of people have this expectation that, hey, I need to act the same way I did in childhood, and these are my family, and I need to be around these people and try to keep the peace. But also, I think they forget that they're adults and they get to make their own decision, because there's just this subconscious expectation that doesn't have to be there.
Totally. And I think in part to that too is a conversation of exploring, do you want to have this person in your life anymore? And so a big conversation for a lot of folks has been, I think, ambivalence or exploring estrangement from family members, if it's like a whole family unit or if it's specifically like a parent or a sibling or different things like that. And I know that there's been more conversations happening, I think especially in the last couple of years around estrangement. And oftentimes it's being referred to as trendy. To like be estranged from a parent or from a family member versus, oh, like that's your mom or that's your dad or, that's your sibling. Versus I think a conversation is like, well, what has happened to this person that has led them to make that hard decision? And it's not what they did, it's what kind of environment are they still trying to navigate in, where that like regression gets to come in and it's like, hey, you actually don't have to do that anymore.